Hey there guys, what's going on and welcome back to our channel. Stephen Avery's case became well known after Netflix's documentary series Making a Murderer focused on the events leading up to his 2005 conviction for the murder of a photojournalist. Stephen, 59, is serving a life sentence for the murder of Teresa Halbach, 25, a charge he rejects. He has always maintained his innocence and is appealing for a new trial with Zellner's support. However, Stephen's appeal for a review of this conviction in the hopes of having it reversed was denied by the Wisconsin Supreme Court in November 2021. These are the events that pile up as Making a Murderer Update 2022. Number 5. To reel back. The most recent appeal asked the court to look at 3 points in the case: failure to disclose information, destruction of bone fragments, and ineffective legal representation. Brendan Dassey, Stephen's nephew, was also found guilty of the murder. Kathleen took to Twitter on Friday to provide an update outlining her plans for Stephen, which include filing a habeas petition, which is used to bring a prisoner or detainee before a court to determine whether their detention is legal, and a new petition with the Circuit Court on Evidence Appellate Court or the Court of Appeals. An appellate court, unlike the Circuit District Court, doesn't retry cases, hear witness testimonies, consider fresh evidence, or have a jury. Instead, it examines the original case's procedures and outcomes to ensure that the legal proceedings were fair and that the law was applied accurately. Stephen is just beginning, Kathleen said. What lies ahead? A habeas petition with Fed. The court, a new petition with Circuit Court on Evidence Appellate Court, left undecided, a new reward offered by our amazing benefactor. We've just finished warming up the first inning. Many people believe they were wrongfully sentenced after watching the Netflix show, which raised various issues about the legitimacy of their convictions. After suing the police for wrongful conviction in 2003, Stephen believes they framed him for Teresa's death. Avery's request for a fresh trial was denied in 2019. Kathleen wrote a letter in April accusing the state of Wisconsin of withholding vital information after additional witnesses came forward. This occurred after a fresh court filing in April, which indicated that in the early hours of November 5, 2005, a delivery driver witnessed Bobby Dassey with an unidentified bearded man in his 50s to 60s pushing a Toyota RAV4, the model Teresa was driving, onto the Avery property. Number 4. Huge amount of new evidence could see him freed. Kathleen Zellner, Stephen Avery's lawyer, has stated a great quantity of fresh evidence in his case. Kathleen stated they're still working as hard as ever on the case, which was the subject of the Netflix documentary Making a Murderer, on Twitter to inform her fans of any discoveries. Avery has had a busy year with numerous developments in the case. A delivery driver came forward on the 13th of April saying he observed Bobby Dassey with an unidentified bearded man in his 50s to 60s pushing a Toyota RAV4, the model Teresa Halbach was driving, onto the Avery property in the early hours of November 5, 2002, according to a court filing. This put Stephen Avery's nephew Bobby Dassey, brother of Brendan Dassey, at the crime site. Then, Brendan's half-brother Brad Dassey stated that his uncle Avery is innocent and that his stepmother Barb may be involved in the case. After fresh witnesses came forward on April 23rd, Zellner accused the state of Wisconsin of withholding vital information in a letter. However, in July, the court dismissed Avery's appeal, prompting Zellner to tweet, "The appellate court ruling did not affect Mr. Avery's fight for freedom, as it pointed out the precise options that remain accessible to him. We appreciate the thorough examination. #truthwins, #onward. The most recent news came in August when Avery requested the Wisconsin Supreme Court to hear his case. Number 3. Kathleen Zellner links Bobby Dassey to Teresa Halbach's disappearance. A new court document indicates that a delivery driver has come forward with new evidence regarding the case, tying none other than Bobby Dassey to Teresa Halbach's disappearance, along with an unidentified guy, as promised by his lawyer Kathleen Zellner. According to the records, Stephen's nephew Bobby, also Brendan Dassey's brother, was spotted with an unnamed male in his 50s or early 60s with a long gray beard. In the early hours of November 5, 2005, A witness stated he saw the couple moving a Toyota RAV4 across the Avery property just days after Teresa vanished. As a result, the prospects of a third season of Making a Murderer have increased significantly. Following the results, lawyer Kathleen has requested that the matter be remanded to the circuit court for further proceedings, laying out her case in an 11-page statement. The fresh witness evidence would be crucial in demonstrating that Avery was unfairly convicted in Teresa's murder, which has become a well-known mystery because of Netflix's 2-part true crime series Making a Murderer. Kathleen was playing with evidence in the case to show her client's innocence, as seen in episode 2 of the Making the Murderer documentary series on Netflix. Stephen Avery was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of release in 2005 for the murder of Teresa Halbach. He has always maintained his innocence and is appealing for a new trial with Kathleen Zellner support. Brendan Dassey, Stephen's nephew, was also found guilty of the murder. Many people believe they were wrongfully sentenced after watching the Netflix show, which raised various issues about the legitimacy of their conviction. After suing the police for wrongful conviction in 2003, Stephen and his lawyer Kathleen unequivocally said they believe the cops framed him for Teresa's murder. Number 2. Court documents. According to an affidavit filed on Sunday, the delivery driver Thomas Sawinski said he was to hand off a newspaper to Avery Salvage Yard when he observed a couple on the property with the car. He described seeing a shirtless Bobby Dassey and an unidentified older male suspiciously pushing a dark blue RAV4 down the Avery Road toward the junkyard. According to the witness, he drove past Bobby Dassey, left the documents in the mailbox, and then turned around to leave the property. Bobby Dassey attempted to walk in front of his car to keep him from leaving the property, he says, as he approached the RAV4. According to court filings, Thomas was within 5 feet of Bobby Dassey and had his headlights on. He then claims he was forced to escape the property by driving onto a shallow ditch to avoid him. "I called out, 'Paperboy, gotta go,' because I was afraid for my safety," he said. Bobby Dassey looked me in the eye, and I could tell with the look in his eyes that he was not happy to see me there. What reportedly transpired after that is perhaps the most damaging. After seeing Teresa's vehicle later that day, Thomas claims he realized the gravity of what he had witnessed and contacted the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Office. After telling her what he knew, a female cop told him, "We already know who did it," and shut him off. The witness stated that he provided the office with his phone number in case they wanted to follow up, but he didn't provide a formal statement, and it was the last time he heard from them. Number 1. Who is Barb Todich, and how is she linked to Stephen Avery? Brendan Dassey's mother, Barb Todich, is his staunchest supporter. In March 2021, she wrote on Facebook that the police bullied this child Brendan from day one, alluding to the way Manitowoc police used coercive language to persuade him to confess. Barb Todich is advocating for stronger juvenile interrogation safeguards so that other young and vulnerable suspects like Brendan are not pressured into making a false confession. Todich appears in both seasons of the significantly acclaimed true crime documentary Making a Murderer. She's expected to return in season 3 after concerns about her role in the case were raised. Barb has been married to Scott Todich for only a few years. Before that, Barb was married to Todich's cousin Tom Janda. Barb appeared in the Making the Murderer series as Barb Janda, and it's not clear when exactly she married Scott, but it's reported that it was shortly after her divorce from Tom was finalized. This was a recap of Making a Murderer's second season. This thrilling, chilling documentary has been the talk of the town for a while now. Fans want to see more of the enthralling tale of a waspish court order. That is, for season 3 to be announced soon. Are you guys also in the same boat of Stephen Avery being innocent in all of this? Let us know down in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys later in another great video. Bye now!